Hello everyone, welcome back to some Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to take a look at the few butcher changes. Now, I've had a little go with the butcher and he feels like an absolute beast now. Now, I have only tried him in try mode, so again, his usefulness could be diminished depending on the level of opponent you're against. But we're going to take a look at what he can do against a Jaina, which is kind of who you want to be focusing as the butcher. Some sort of squishy, a Jaina, Kael'thas, maybe another enemy melee assassin. Pretty much anybody, actually. it's the butcher. You butcher people. Anyway, he has had a fairly big fairly big? Yeah, sort of fairly big. And most his abilities have all stayed the same. The Q is still hamstring. It deals damage, slows, that fades over 2 seconds, and it also resets your basic attack. And our W ability, Butcher's Brand, deals a smidgen of damage, and you heal off of the damage you do to the target. It is only 75%. That healing is doubled versus heroes, however, and your basic attacks now increase the duration. So before, when you would Butcher's Brand a target, it would last 4 seconds regardless. However, the Butcher does have a few tricks up his sleeve to increase his attack speed, and therefore try and keep the brand going as long as he can, and therefore generating the most amount of survivability he can, because he has no get out of jail free card. He has a get into trouble card, which is his E ability, but he has no way to get out until level 20. And his E ability is still the Ruthless Onslaught. Charging an enemy, become unstoppable and gaining movement speed. If you reach the target, they are stunned and take damage. How interesting. But one of the big changes is to his trait. It's still called Fresh Meat. You still grab things off of the floor. However, it is now a quest talent, or quest trait. Nearby minions drop 1 fresh meat and heroes drop 5 fresh meat when they die. You can pick up fresh meat to gain 1 attack damage per meat. You can hold up to 125 meat, so that's 125 attack damage. And you drop up to 10 when you die. So before, the Butcher could collect about 25 by default, and he lost all of them when he died. Now he can collect 125, but if you manage to get over 10, the maximum you can lose is 10. If you get up to 125, you gain an additional 100 attack damage, so that's a maximum of 225? No, 225, yes. And you also gain 25% increased attack speed. That's pretty big. You also don't lose any fresh meat when you die, so once that is complete, you can go ham and not risk having to lose your fresh meat, which was one of the biggest downsides of the Butcher. Not only could he not get out of trouble very easily, when he did die, he lost all of his attack damage, attack speed, and therefore survivability, because he gains his health off of the damage you do to targets. So it was all a knock-on effect. So now, much like the Kael'thas Convection talent, once that's complete, that's good. You're not going to lose that. That's there for forever. It is going to take a while to stack that up. Depending on how many kills you get on enemy heroes in the early game, you can see you only get 7 minions per minion wave, so it's going to take a hell of a lot of minion waves unless you supplement that with some hero kills. We talked about his base talents. They're fairly the same. It's mainly only his trait that has changed. We will go over his talents now. Some of them have moved, some of them have the same name, but they are slightly different to usual. I think Chop Meat, Block and Invigoration are all the same, so we're not going to go over that. Abattoir. This is it's an old talent, but it now has brand new functionality. Before, it used to increase the amount of maximum meat you could have up to 35, and you also only dropped half when you died instead of all of it. This time around, it decreases the amount you drop from 10 to 5. So instead of when you die, instead of dropping 10, you drop 5, fairly easy. Once you complete the fresh meat trait quest, that's a mouthful to say. So basically, once you get the 125 meat from your quest trait, and that's completed, minions no longer drop meat. However, if you pick up Abattoir, heroes will continue to drop meat. And heroes obviously drop them in stacks of 5. So you won't get anything from minions, but you will get them from heroes. And once you pick up the fresh meat, you will still continue to gain attack damage. So you basically get bonus attack damage from killing heroes throughout the entire game. There is no ceiling cap on this, I don't think. So the more people you kill, the more you will be able to kill. Alright, the level 4, it is a fairly boring tier. I think most of these have stayed the same. So I like Cheap Shot. At level 7, we have a few different talents here. This one here used to be on level 1, and it also used to give you healing of your 3% of your max HP whenever you collected meat. That is slightly different now. Every time an enemy minion dies, so you don't even have to collect the meat, and it still works after you've completed your trait, because minions no longer drop meat after you've completed your trait. You get 4% of your max health. We also have a brand new talent called Meat Shield. Every time you use your E and actually impact an enemy, so if you cancel it, it doesn't work, but you have to actually impact an enemy, you gain Spell Shield. So if you're up against a Jaina, that's going to be good, because she's going to wait for you to jump in and then drop Blizzard on top of herself. However, personally, I like Insatiable Blade. Now, Insatiable Blade is an old talent. I think it's been here for a while. It increases the healing that you get from Butcher's Brand from 75 to 100% of your attack damage. However, this is the bit I think is the most important bit of this talent. While facing the enemy, you gain 20% movement speed. So the Butcher, if he can't land his slow, doesn't really have any way to gap close apart from his E. So let's say you've used your E to gap close onto the Jaina. She drops the slows onto you. You drop the hamstring onto her. Everybody's slowed. But then you can use your movement speed on the Butcher's Brand to hopefully counteract the slow. Mainly because you're not going to be able to E again for another 15 seconds. So Jaina, you're going to die or Jaina's going to die within that time frame. So I don't think that's in the worst case scenario. Jaina's probably the worst case scenario. Anybody else, let's say it was a Reyna or a Tychus, you should be able to just walk up to them with the increased movement speed plus the hamstring to get back into range if they use the run and gun or something like that. But I think all of these will have some use. Maybe not Victuals. I think that's how you say it. Victuals? Victuals. Victuals. I think Meat Shield or the Insatiable Blade will be the one to go for. Level 10, I think these have stayed exactly the same. That actually does a lot of damage now. 400 damage just to get chained to a post. At level 13, I think we have a brand new talent called Cleaver here. And this is much like the Kerrigan one. And basically, and the Anubarak one. Basically, you cleave. I mean, it does what it says on the tin, basically. If your team needs any more wave clear, grab this one up. Otherwise, I prefer Brutal Strike. So every time you use Hamstring, your next 3 basic attacks within 5 seconds deal an additional 15% damage. Bearing in mind that your next basic attack after Hamstring occurs immediately, you should be good to go. One thing I want to note is that when you do complete your quest and gain 125 meat, your axe glows. Look how cool that is. I've already tested this with the Master Skin, but I hope this does it with everything. That is such a cool little thing. Now you know when the Butcher's axe is glowing, shit's got real. You're in for a world of pain. And now killing him no longer resets his meat, so fucking watch out. I like that. That's a nice little touch. And at level 16, I think we have 2 options here. Enraged or Blood Frenzy is the ones that I would personally swing towards straight away. Crippling Slam. It increases the slow duration and the slow no longer fades. I don't think that's necessary, personally. It could be good, I haven't tested it, but on the face of it, I think we need the attack speed. So Enraged stays the same. I think this saw quite a high pick rate. I mean, as high as the Butcher's pick rate can be. When you receive damage that reduces you below 50% health, you become Enraged. While enraged, you gain 40% attack speed and become resistant, reducing damage taken by 25%. That seems like exactly what the Butcher needs. So you think you're about to kill him, enrage kicks in, he gains 40% attack speed, he becomes resistant to damage, and he is now probably healing from you, and unless you stun him, he will kill you. Now, Blood Frenzy, on the other hand, is probably one to go for if you're not the focus target. I mean, Butcher is a fairly easy focus target. For some reason, if you're not being focused, Blood Frenzy seems like you might get a bit more value out of it. But like I say, if you're against a Jaina, if you get caught by even just a couple of Kona Colds and the Blizzard, you're probably going to go down below half health. So Enraged might be good for that. It would be nice to see some CC reduction in there, but I think that's asking a little bit too much. So Blood Frenzy basic attacks against enemy heroes increase your attack and movement speed by 5% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So If you're not against somebody like a Jaina who can kite you for days, this basically stops anybody being able to get away from you. 5 times 5 is 25, so you have an extra 25% attack speed and movement speed. 25% extra movement speed should be enough to catch anybody, and if you don't catch them, then you also have the Insatiable Blade movement speed off of the Butcher's brand, if you take the Insatiable Blade talent, which I quite like. In try mode, Jane is clearly not going to... I don't even think she drops a Blizzard, so she's not going to kill me, so I'm going to go for the Blood Frenzy here. And at level 20, Slaughterhouse is staying the same, Nexus Blades has stayed the same, and Bolt of the Storm has stayed the same again. Nexus Blades makes you able to chase and kill people more effectively. Bolt of the Storm is safer if you value your life. Again, as a try mode, I'm going to go for Nexus Blades. So, we have picked our talents. We're level 20. Jaina's level 21, nearly level 22. Let's see how fast we can kill ourselves a bot Jaina. So yeah, we just killed her in 4 hits. Or 5. I think it was 4. That was without our ultimate. And she also has frost armor. She just saw the glowing axe and she was like, ah, hell nah. Alright, let's go. Yeah, if she didn't... I don't think many Jainas take frost armor, so if she hadn't taken frost armor, we can kill her in about 3 or 4 hits. Auto attacks, obviously, because she does get hit from the Ruthless Onslaught and the Hamstring, but, I mean, we can even jump into her base and kill her, so... That is disgusting. Even a player... I don't even think a player will be able to get away from that. We're doing 700 per auto attack, unempowered. So if we decide to heal off Jaina... It's just disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. Alright, I'm going to go load up a couple of heroes, see who we can kill the fastest. So bearing in mind that this is try mode and the enemy isn't the greatest at, you know, reacting to a butcher running at them, players will do a little bit better of a job. But let's see how we can do against the brand new hero in the game. What's he going to do? Alright, he does take a few more hits, but... I mean, look, he didn't really do much to us. I hope this works just as well in Quick Match, because this is insane. Butcher is really scary now. Really, really scary. Alright, well, I'm going to go take this guy into Quick Match. We're going to have a look at Alarak in the try mode. We're going to try and take Alarak into Quick Match. And we're also going to have a look at Vala, because she got a rework. But I'm like, hey, do you want to die again? Alright, never mind, I just charged a minion. But I'm really liking the new Butcher. We just did 810 per auto attack. 810. 810 per auto attack. That's disgraceful. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment down below what you think about the new Butcher, if you've tried him, if you like him, and what do you think of his glowing axe. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh god, Alarak, you want some more, buddy? Man, this is fun. I'm just going to sit in try mode all day.